Hey, let me ask you something. As a real estate agent, if you were to retire today, how long would you go until you run out of money? You know, a lot of real estate agents don't think about the fact that we're living check to check or closing to closing. And I meet agents all over the country that aren't really aware of how small they're playing the game. And what happens is you become the 60-year-old realtor, the 70-year-old realtor, the 80-year-old realtor, and quite literally the 90-year-old realtor still trying to sell real estate because you're only as good as your next closing. The problem we have here is we don't have a 401k, we don't have an IRA plan, we don't have the basic stuff, which frankly isn't even enough for us to retire anyway. But again, you're only as good as your next check. So what I usually do when I'm starting to work with a real estate agent is I look at what's our overall picture look like. And I want to talk to you about that today. So my name's Greg Luther. If you haven't been following for a while, today's a good day to start. It's time for you to get serious about your real estate business. Agents usually come to me because they're doing pretty well. They're doing okay. They're closing a few deals every month. The bills are being paid, but they realize that we're not getting any younger and their net worth is actually going down or it's staying very stagnant. So usually what I do is when I start working with a real estate agent, I want to see how fast can I get them to zero, meaning they don't owe any money on their credit cards. They don't owe any money on a car. You should always pay cash for a car. A car is like $30,000 or $40,000. That's a few closings. We can put that together in a month and you go pay cash for a car. You don't owe for medical debt or student loans or, again, credit cards, mortgage payment, anything like that. You got to get to zero before you can build a real net worth. So a lot of agents don't think about it this way. They're thinking, well, my bills are $5,300 a month and I just need to make $5,300 a month. Well, if you do that forever, you will work forever. If your bills are $5,300 a month and you start making $10,000 a month and sock away part of that money, if you do that every single month for 5 years, you only have enough money to retire for 5 years. You're going to outlive your money. So again, a lot of real estate agents are just so busy, head down, working, selling real estate, grinding it out, trying to hold deals together. All of the things that we do, they never really pick their head up and think about, am I going where I truly want to go? So I want you to start thinking about, what kind of money do you need to make? What kind of finances do you need to put away to, first of all, pay off everything so you can get yourself to zero, so you have no debt. You don't owe anything at all, like your utilities, your phone, that type of thing. You got to pay that every month, revolving debt. But all other debts gone. You've got to get to zero. And it's such an awesome feeling when you can get that weight off your shoulders. I can't tell you how many agents have gotten in trouble with the IRS and they still owe the IRS money. Look, you have to dig your way out. That stress is way too much for you. The sleepless nights is way too much for you. And what it's doing is it's keeping you from truly becoming the good real estate agent you could be because you're not focused on the right stuff. So I'm here today as I'm doing this Facebook Live with you. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Just yesterday, we did an awesome event called the Generate and Convert event. Agents flew in from all over the country. We did it as a very small group mastermind on how do you ramp up your business with very simple, cost-effective online ads. And there's agents in the room doing 5 closings, 6 closings a month from very simple ads on Facebook. Why would you be on Facebook and not use it for profit? So they're closing 5, 6 deals a month. We went over the top 5 ads word for word, how it works, why it works, all of that good stuff. But again, it's not just about selling more houses. It's getting back to the root of our true goal here, which is to build a bigger net worth for you and your family so that you can provide for your loved ones, provide for yourself. I've always said, listen, there's one thing in real estate, there's one thing in life that's guaranteed for you. Bad stuff is going to happen. And I will promise you that bad stuff is going to happen to you this year, and bad stuff is going to happen next year. And if you're in a position where bad stuff is like you got a flat tire and you don't have the money to pay for that, that's your fault, and you set yourself up for this years and years in advance, right? If bad stuff for you is a deal falls apart and you lose $7,000, you set yourself up for this. I've used the example many times that if I'm again in the hotel room in Orlando, I'm getting ready to head back to Ohio today and then San Diego for a couple of days. So we got another conference out there, but I've always used the example, if you're watching a football game and it's down to the last 10 seconds and the game is tied and they're at the 3-yard line and they really need to get this touchdown or this field goal or whatever it is, and there's 3 seconds left and it's a nail biter. Look, you played the game bad for the last 2 hours that it comes down to the last play. Well, the same is true in real estate. If you really need this deal to go through, and you got to get this deal to go through because you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage or your car payment or your rent, whatever that is, you played the game wrong for the last 90 days. That you're down to one closing that you really need to get closed. You have a marketing issue. I know you're a good agent. There's no question whatsoever you're a great real estate agent. The problem is you have a marketing issue. So for so many agents, I see this all over the place. They're in mounds of debt. Frankly, their debt gets worse from time to time. And if you look at where you're at today compared to where you were last year, have you paid down the IRS, paid down the mortgage, written off the car note? You paid that thing off. So now you have the actual title to your family's cars. If you have your husband and wife and both of you have a car, have you paid that off? Those are things you need to start knocking out so that you can get to zero. If you don't get to zero, you're never going to get to a black number. You're always going to be in the red. And again, there's no question as a real estate agent, our expenses are very high. We have, insurmountable expenses sometimes. We have to have a high income. But your gross income means nothing. And I got to tell you, listen, you may not like hearing this. If you're grossing $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year, you're dead in the business. You're never going to retire. It's not enough money. That doesn't hardly cover our expenses and a basic salary. You're not clearing much money. If you think you're doing well because you're grossing 6 figures, you're going to be in bad shape. And you're going to be the 95-year-old realtor that's still only as good as their next paycheck. So I don't want to make fun of anybody by any means. I'm here to help, but I want to make it a wake-up call for you. That, look, General Motors brought in $7 billion and lost money. Now, they actually were on the verge of bankruptcy, and the government had to bail them out. So they could walk around with their chest out, I made $7 billion last year. No, you didn't. You lost money. Every time you sold a car, you lost money. And how many real estate agents are like that? I mean, if you look at your net worth, if your net worth went down, if your debt went up in the last year, every single time you sold a house, you lost money. Because your overall net worth went down, or your total amount of debt you have, your credit card debt, that type of thing, it went up. So those are some concerns for a lot of agents. And again, when they come to me, they want to be coached by me, mentored by me. They want a couple of new ideas on how they make more money. I say, wait a minute. I'm not going to work with you if you just want a couple of extra closings. I have no interest in that. I have an interest in you retiring wealthy. I have an interest in you becoming at least, like you need $2 million in order to retire in America these days. If you retire at 70, you may live another 30 years. Let me give you that again. These days, if you retire at 70, you may live another 20 to 30 years. See, it used to be you could retire at 65, get a good job with the government, get a good pension plan, retire at 65 years old, and you got enough money put back for the rest of your life. Well, the rest of your life was only about 10 years. The average lifespan was 70, 75 years. Now, it's a whole lot longer with advanced medicine. Well, guess what? Advanced medicine costs money too. And your expenses will go up that way. Let's get rid of your regular expenses in case your health expenses or care, that type of thing, starts to go up as we all get older. So again, it's just a different way of thinking about your real estate business, because I think you'll act much differently if you do take action in a way that allows you to make 3, 4, 5 times what your monthly bills are. so that you can, first of all, use all that extra money to pay everything down to zero, but then start to put that money away. So if we made 4 times what our monthly bills are, the 1 monthly bill is paid for this month, but I can put back 3 months of expenses. Let me show you the math on that. If you do that for 5 years, you'll have enough money to retire for 15 years. Does that make sense? If you do it for 10 years, you'll have enough money to retire for 30 years because you're putting back 3 times what you'll need. And again, even if you pay off your mortgage, your health expenses will probably go up, right? You're going to have children you need to take care of, spouse you need to take care of, somebody else that you need to provide for. Today, I provide for my dad. I have for the last 5 years, 6 years, pay all the expenses, pay the house bill, pay all that stuff, everything. He has $0. So there's going to be people in your life that you want to provide for as well so that they don't struggle. That's going to happen from you going bigger with your real estate business. So I know how fun it is to go to a conference or to watch a webinar. Oh my gosh, look, we're making money and things are good. Look, you got to get to the truth of why you're doing this in the first place. You got in this business to be successful and be wealthy, and look at where the heck it's at right now for most agents. That may not be you, but it is for most agents. You need to build a real net worth. You need to have something sustainable and something worth having. So I want you to keep that in mind as you go through the next week here. You'll see that I'm traveling a good bit. Again, I'm in Florida right now. I'm in Ohio for a couple of days and then out to California. Myself and my team for a conference out there. But you've got to get yourself to zero so that you can build a real net worth. And if you keep that in mind, you know, one of the things you can do today, a good exercise for you, is to grab a piece of paper and just write down everything that you owe with approximate balances. So here's the house mortgage. I owe this much. Here's my car and my spouse's car. I owe this much. My credit card, my IRS bill. Whatever that is, write those things down so you at least have a target that you're going after. And I think you'll find that 3 closings a month, 4 closings a month that are extra in addition to what you usually do can knock all that stuff out so you can get to zero. So you can pay all of that down and start to build a real net worth for yourself. So hopefully that's of service to you. If you do like this, I want you to like the page, share the page. There's probably a real estate agent in your life or in your office or a friend of yours that could utilize this message. And my sincere hope is that it touches you the right way, that you want to take action for yourself. You don't want to, I want you to be petrified at being the 90-year-old realtor. Still doing it, still trying to figure out, how do I show these homes? I got to show 9 homes today. I don't operate the way I used to. I can't get out of bed the way I used to. And still got to keep hustling and cranking it out. That's a bad deal. So I want you to operate on a much bigger level. Let me know your thoughts on this. Reply back to me here, reply below, whatever. Is this helpful for you? Does it get your mind working the right way? Is it a wake-up call for you? Or are you doing pretty well right now? It's good to know that there's a lot of agents doing extremely well. Most of the agents involved in our coaching program, once they take action, they get better and better and better. Every year is better than the last. And that's why we're in real estate to begin with. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Any questions you have, of course, you can reach out to me. And I'll plan on talking to you soon. I'm getting ready to catch an airplane here, provided it's on time. Unfortunately, I'm flying with Delta, so that means I'll get there and my luggage won't. As I've found 3 times now, I don't know if you know, Delta stands for Don't Expect Luggage to Arrive. So I'll keep all the important stuff in my carry-on. But anyway, go out there. Sell some real estate. Do that exercise today. Get a total number. How much do you owe to pay everything off? Medical, IRS, mortgage, all that stuff. Maybe we can get a game plan together to make that happen for you very quickly. I'm Greg Luther. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video, and listen, we've got a lot more information for you to help you with growing your real estate business. We load new videos nearly every day, and I want you to have access. So you got to do 2 important things. It's both totally free. Number 1, I want you to subscribe to this channel. You'll see the little subscribe button for you to click. If you don't have an account with YouTube, set it up. It's totally free. You got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important factor, you got to ring the bell. Right next to that subscribe button, you'll see a little bell to turn on notifications. That will let you know every time I load a new money-making video to help you with growing your real estate business. Subscribe and make sure you ring the bell. We'll see you in the next video.